How's it going, guys? My name is AK, back again with another video, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing you how to win Garrison Control every time. Now, Control is a notoriously hard game mode in this CDL season. Basically, it's nearly impossible to win on attack on quite a lot of the maps, and so it all comes down to that final round and making sure that you've got defense. But essentially, in today's video, I'm going to be explaining the tactics that I like to use and I think are the most successful at making sure that you can always win your Garrison Control. Now, if you like this kind of video, there's my playlist in the description that's got all of the ones for S&D, and I'll add the hardpoint ones in the near future. And also, if new maps drop, I'll keep it updated. So yeah, if you like this kind of video, check out the playlist down below, and yeah, subscribe if you're not already. With that said and done, let's jump straight into the video. So most of this video is going to be focusing on attack, simply because attack is the harder one to win. So the strats that you use on attack will more likely impact the outcome of the game. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you what you need to do to try and win attack. And if you can't win attack, the steps that you need to take to guarantee that you get defense on that last round, that sort of all important round that you can use to make sure that you can win every time. So let's jump straight into that. So when attacking on this map, you're going to want to start with the B site and then move to A. B is the one that you need to capture first. It's the one that's easier to capture first. And yeah, I think if any of them are capturable, B is the most. And then A, you want to try and make the play towards afterwards. So I guess a good setup for B, there's quite a few good setups for B. But one I like to use is, so send one player to the top grey, have one player push under the vents and sort of peek out the mid-map side, sort of put that with another player pushing through the mid-map so they can sort of double challenge, get that mid-control nice and early if you can. And then lastly, sending one player to sort of challenge top green control, and sort of the whole of top green. Let me see if I can put that in yellow actually. The whole of top green and the bridge, getting that sort of control on the map is really important. But essentially on attack, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to try and slay out. You're going to have to try and get a lot of map pressure in mid to allow you to leave two people on the point. Now, I would recommend a minimum of two people on control, simply because with one player, the points take too long to capture. And being that defense really has the advantage with all the map positioning and the time it takes to get to the hill and stuff like that, you're going to want at least two people to really speed it up and try and reduce the amount of time that you need sort of complete map pressure in order to be able to capture a point. So with that, what setup would you use for this? Now, I'd recommend having someone on the top bridge, say this player 4 here, basically watching the top bridge, locking down this entire side of the map so that they can't push through the lights and that they can't push through the sort of the P5 area. This way, the only way that they can come is sort of through the inside bricks, the brick small door, and then wrapping around to the top green. Now, wrapping around to the top green, you might think, oh, you'll get flanked, but the problem with them pushing the top green is the amount of time it takes for them to wrap all the way around. Chances are they're going to be giving up at least a good few ticks, if not the entire B point, and well, I mean, that's worth giving up a few kills for. But with that, you're going to want to send two people up onto this point. Now, I've got, two players on here. Now, these are essentially going to be watching the bricks push, maybe on this inside bricks here, or on the outside if player 2 has died. But essentially, their job is just going to be to hold the hill. Player 4 here on the bridge is going to call everything that pushes their inside lights and inside here. So that way, these don't actually have to watch that until they get the information from player 4, who can actually just sit in green if he wants to play it a bit safer. The moment they call that, they can turn around. Bear in mind, you can actually still capture it from inside lights, so they can just play a corner in lights, sort of like here, and then pick up those kills. So essentially, attacking on this is all about map pressure. You get the map pressure, you can capture the points, and yeah, you should be doing okay. Now, moving on to the A site, what I said earlier about making sure you can stack the hill to capture it as fast as possible. It's that, but even more so on A. I'd recommend probably having 3 people on A. Now, quite a good setup that I like to do is have one person sat on the double boxes. You can actually jump on top of them if you didn't know. I'm sure you probably do. Having one person set up sort of at the back behind the radar tank thing. Essentially, they're just going to be playing hill time now. They can sort of peek either side, just help out player 1 if someone's pushing the side that they're not watching. But essentially, their job is to stay alive, making sure that even if some of the other players die, you're still getting ticks, you're still getting time on the point. And then lastly, player 3 is going to want to try and stand on the fence over here so that they're still getting the time, but they can call if anything pushes top green. Now you think, oh wow, they're coming top green, don't you have that locked down? We don't actually. No, this is sort of the thing that is different in this strat. You're going to want to send someone through to push into bricks. Now, why is this? They spawn close, so their instinct is going to be pushing through the spawn, or pushing round that way, or even pushing round and then hitting through. So essentially, their entire push towards this is on that side of the map. So if you can have someone sat in bricks, you can watch as they're running past and usually pick up quite a few good kills, shooting them in the back, and essentially just being annoying. Player 4's job is to be annoying, trap them in the spawn, be that player that they're like, oh, he's still in the spawn, why isn't he being killed? Be that player. And essentially, they're going to be spending all that time trying to find player 4, trying to make sure that player 4 is dead in the spawn, that gives the triple stack on the hill enough time to really rack up some good ticks on that, maybe even capture it. And yeah, so that's essentially the basic outline of that strat. But with this setup, you should be able to hopefully do quite well on A. But the main problem is getting into this setup in the first place, making sure that you can have a sort of a coordinated 4 push, get set up on the hill like this. It's not always the easiest, but I guarantee that once you've got this set up, you should have at least a good chance of winning offense, which on Control is something that if you can do, you're really putting yourself in a good position to win the game. Now, what I want to mention now is, say you're playing against a good team, a team that is maybe gun skills better than you, maybe they're on a good host and their shots are hitting a bit nicer. For whatever reason, you think there's no way that we're going to be able to capture the points. We can't get that map pressure. Essentially, if we try and do that, we're just going to be throwing away lives. And now that is the #1 thing that you don't want to be doing in Control. Don't throw away lives. If it means sitting in a corner, playing an angle, sitting on a head glitch, do that as opposed to dying, because those kills are really important for deciding who gets defense in the final round. So essentially, if you're convinced that on attack you're not going to win, say it's the second attack round, the first one you got absolutely smoked, you're thinking, okay, all right, we need to sort this out. What can we do? Now, this is when you need to think, okay, we're going to play it safe. We're going to play for kills. We're going to make sure that we don't give up too many lives this round, and maybe even try and go positive in the kills on this round, because if you don't know, you tend to get more kills on defense. You tend to get the spawn traps on, you tend to get set up, you can push them into their spawn, and really with one player, say on this map, player 3 quite often, well maybe not player 3, but a player pushes up into this this long bit here, and yeah, once they're set up in there, they can get the spawn trap, because you see all these players running past like this, and then they just shoot you in the side and end up picking loads of kills. They are the annoying player in the spawn that I was talking about last time. But once they get that map pressure, now this could also, I suppose, be against a team where you think, yeah, we can beat them, but for whatever reason on the opening break, they get 4 dead, or maybe just the trades are unfavourable in your team. They get the map pressure, they're set up. Now, what you want to do is limit the amount of times that your team or you are dying. So essentially, if you need to, and you think, okay, there's no way that we're going to be able to get the map pressure, by all means, sit in the spawn, play the angles. Now, if they're a good team, they'll know to sort of respect that, and they'll think, okay, they're all set up in the spawn, we'll just run the clock down, basically. If they're a bad team and they're overconfident, cocky, they're going to be pushing the spawn into your head glitches, you're going to be picking up the kills, and while they might just think, oh, we've run the round, deep down you know that you've got the kills that are going to make sure that you get that defense in the last round, which I cannot stress is the most important thing in Control. Now, one last thing I will add is if you are looking to capture the points, you do think that's a possibility, but for whatever reason someone does push through into spawn, say this player 3 here gets set up in the spawn, or maybe around the other side, your #1 priority needs to be getting them out of the spawn. With that kind of map pressure, they're just going to be getting free kills. So you're trying to stack the B, let me just draw that on. Say you're trying to stack the B site from here, or maybe through mid, and then this player is just sat shooting you in the side over and over again. You're going to want to get rid of him. He cannot stay there. Maybe hit it with 2 players, 3 players, whatever you need. Make sure that any of their players that are going to give them the kill advantage, the map pressure that also comes with that, they need to be sort of a top priority to kill. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So with that said, on the attack side, I will briefly go through a few things that you can do on defense. Now, defense is the much easier thing to play. If you can get your kills, keep your map pressure, you don't even have to play it to sort of pushing the spawn trap. As long as you can play your game, basically, play what you need to do, you could quite easily win every defense that you play. So I'd recommend off the start maybe sending one into the lights. People set up mid. Now it is a push to the B. They have to push up. It's not sort of towards their side. You don't have to challenge that. So by all means, hold angles. I would always send someone top green, just because, as I said at the start of the last explanation, the top bridge is a very important sort of power position. If you can get someone set up there, they can watch over this whole side of the map, and they are very hard to kill. So yeah, try and get top bridge control actually on both sides. Having that top bridge control with your AR set up there, it's going to be a massive help. But again, also like I said on the other side, if one of these players does get through, say they manage to capture B and someone's playing sort of around your spawn, just in general being annoying, as I said with the player on the other side, make it your first priority to kill that person. That person's going to be shooting you in the back and allowing the other team to rack up the time. So make sure that, that you kill them. And once again, adding on to that subject, if you are on the defense side, become that player. Be that person that pushes into the spawn, that gets the kills, that essentially annoys the enemy team. Because how annoying is it when you're trying to push the hill and there's one player that's been in your spawn for 2 minutes shooting you in the back? It's really bloody annoying. So be that player, essentially. If you've got a sub, push up onto their side of the map, play the spawn traps, and just try and, again, pick up as many kills that you can. As I said, the kills are most important in getting that final round. So yeah, play your life as always, and you should have no trouble on defense. That's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this really helpful. If you did, be sure to drop a like and also subscribe. I'll have all of the other control maps coming very soon, as well as the hardpoint maps and any new maps that get added to the competitive rotation after Season 1 launches on the 16th of December. So that's then done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to drop a like, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good one.